Hey everyone, we're headed back in, starting with chapter 2, so the tech quest, and I just took Maker up. So we're gonna see how that feels. Actually, you know what, before I go in, this is definitely the wrong stat focus. We should be using Armor Pen for him. Alright, let's roll. Oh, nice. Hey Bleezy, how's it going, man? Were you here when you got the membership donated? Or is that a surprise to you? Welcome back, Edward. Whoa! Whoa! Gene, what the heck was that heavy? Nice. Well, he scales pretty darn well with big furies. Nice, please. I'm glad to hear it. I believe that was Leroy who donated. Much appreciated. Do I rank up Captain Britain for this prowess path in 931? I think if you enjoy her elsewhere and or you want her on defense, sure. I don't think you have to. Evening, John. Oh, if you... then maybe, Elijah. That would do it. That's awesome, Bleezy. Okay, what am I looking for? Probably this. I really like her as a toad counter. Hmm. Honestly, I personally enjoy, I think, all four of those more than Captain Britain. But other than Dust, they don't have as much defensive prowess. Which kind of takes us back to, what are you looking for? Whoa! Whoa, 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 whoa. Very rude. Hey, Omega. Okay, Psycho Man, so we want somebody... doesn't mind his concussions, but both of the tech champions that have just generic you can't touch my ability accuracy don't have armor ups, which is annoying. He has some buffs and increases his ability accuracy. Let's do that. If I do place her on defense, who should I recognize as her counters? It kind of depends. There are a few different ones. Like Maker is the quote hard counter. Um, Tech non-critters in general are the dangerous ones. Jack in particular will be quite good. Okay, well that doesn't matter. Whoa! Didn't mean to drop block there. That sucked. Okay, I'm not playing my best, but yes, I don't regret this choice of character at all. Not having to deal with his power locks and stuff is nice. Thank you, auto block, for saving my bacon. Twice. Whoops. Oh, that's unfortunate. Okay. Oh, wow. I should get hit by special threes more often. Thanks, Clubs. I appreciate that, man. Let me catch up on chat. Yeah, Dust definitely has more utility. Britain is strictly defense. Yeah, the special three rotation is fun. I agree. It's just not huge. Yeah, MODOK wants the parry. For sure. Wondering if there's a place for players to give champion feedback, or is that just a CCP thing? I mean, you can give it anywhere. How much weight it's given is a variable even in the CCP. Like it it depends, right? But like if there's something in particular you want me to pass on, you can say it here. I think there's a section in the official Discord. Whether or not we hear about that probably depends on the general temperature of that place at the time. Yeah, Solvark is another good. Haven't leveled him up just yet. Yeah, thanks again to Clubs. Really appreciate the support and welcome all the new members. I am planning to get the other one for too long. Got some busy weekends coming up though, in a good way. Recently bought a number of tickets. Looking forward to some shows. I agree, Finn. I really enjoy arcade, even when I play poorly like that. But like that's not a terrible time either, given that we had access to no Furies at all. It's a cool kit. Okay, hear me out. Captain Britain on BG's attack is a pretty good option if the opponent drafts a hard counter to her. I've gotten a 50k score against a Korg. That's cool. Yeah, I mean, the class advantage definitely helps her because she's prowess focused. But she doesn't... Or I guess she does have some extra crit rating? I can't remember. That's cool, though. I'm glad to hear that. Hey, Joey. It was bleak. I bet it was. Stands I know will get a kick out of the backlog. I hope so. Personally, I really like Dust Elijah, so I think I'm a little biased there. But I'm glad Jaden's been getting some good use out of Captain Britain. That's cool. The customer operations analyst at a software security company. I spent from 5 a.m. to just now responding to customer emails. I hear you, man. That was me yesterday. And don't worry, like, game's fine, but like I got off a long day um of some fairly difficult meetings, and I sent a Snapchat to a few of my friends, kind of abbreviating it, and I said I need a drink. And I went and I poured myself some tequila on the rocks, and my wife took a snap of me pouring the drink and sent it to the same friends. Yes, the tech lane does need armor ups and or power drains. Um, for the Furies. You can still win without them. And I personally find Psycho Man so deeply annoying without a counter to his concussions that I was more than happy to take a little bit longer and use Arcane. Yeah, I have seen that come up. Black Hole. Yeah, that is an interesting one for sure. No guarantees, but I would not be shocked if that did end up getting a little boost. It depends on how her data is overall, but that is absolutely the kind of thing that could. Whoop! Okay, I thought I was about to get destroyed there. Intentionally blocking because I want to go down to 25 here. That's not what I want. I'm gonna try that again. This time, don't let the scotch get you backed up. Ben, what time is it for you? Howdy easy. Hey, Leroy. They talk about work too much on this channel. Ah, it's okay. Overshot the mark a bit. Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, easy. That's cool to see. I am, Clubs, yeah. 10 a.m. Saturday. I'm very much looking forward to it. Okay, so funny thing, Easy, I was literally thinking, like, oh, this week might finally be the week that I can take Sir Riffin to Valiant. And then they decided, you know what? We're gonna run the frickin' EQ twice. So, here we are. Terribly inconvenient for me. Ah, good old-fashioned Ultron healing. It's been a long time. It's 6 a.m. Let's just say choices have been made. Jesus. Yeah, I guess so. Okay, somebody with dots. Level 62? What is the goal there? Just to have stuff? So that's complicated, Leroy. I actually think it is probably a fantastic set to jump in. It's if your friend is really into Magic the Gathering, you may be running into the fact that there are a lot of very strong opinions about this set. Uh, to try and quickly go through some of it, for those of you who haven't heard any of this, um, so Magic the Gathering is doing a Spider-Man set, but get they did not get like the full rights, and so the cards in paper are Spider-Man characters, and then the cards on Arena, their online client, are a completely different set. Except it's not completely different. There's a one-to-one correlation between all of the cards. They all have the same effects and everything, but they have different names and different art. And that's confusing enough in the first place, but for a lot of old school Magic players, or as some people call them, Magic boomers, um, that just like doubles down on the insult because yeah, I've done that before too, Edward. Because a lot of like old school Magic players don't like the idea of other IPs in the game at all. They see it as sacrilege. And so they see this new Spider-Man set, which has a lot of really cool cards and design decisions in it. as this is just getting in the way of the set we could have had with all of this art that will now never be printed in paper because the paper cards have frickin' Spider-Man on them. And I'm enjoying the Spider-Man cards because I'm a Marvel nerd, but I do kind of get it. There's a lot of very, very strong feelings. The reason I said it might be a good jumping in point is that it's not necessarily a good jumping in point to Magic. You would probably want to play something like Jump In on Arena to get used to some of the rules. But I think it would be a very good jumping in point specifically for drafting because it's a smaller card pool. There are only 5 decks as opposed to the usual 10, and the archetypes are pretty clear. And so, like, plus they supposedly developed it for pick 2 drafting, so a table of only 4 as opposed to 8 should be easier to get going. Like, generally, it should be an approachable format as long as you know the basic rules. But yeah, it's I went to an Edge of Eternity's draft, which is the current set, last Friday, and there were at least 4 different people who the judge's name is Stan, and they were like, "Have a good one, Stan. I won't be here next week." And like a lot of people are very loudly announcing that they will not interact at all with the Spider-Man set. It will probably still make a ton of money because it's a highly visible IP, but yeah. Contentious for sure. Okay, let's go kill Immortal Hulk. Yeah, tech class does feel good right now. I can't wait to build one. Yeah, like there are other reasons, but what you just said, Clubs, is why I like drafting so much. Big, big fan of limited. Because there are extra skills that you have to have, but the card pool you need to keep in mind is just the one in front of you. I really enjoy that. And I like the lower powered decks. I feel like, I don't know, things being scrappier is where I have more fun, personally. I hate how long the dot penalty is for this node. But he's not gaining much gamma, so here we are. Oh, right, I stopped the power drain because this one isn't protected, and techs have offensive ability accuracy reduction, and there should probably be adamant axiom everywhere on these frickin' things. C'est la vie. Alright. I have clubs. And there's some cool stuff. Which is why I wish that they had just gotten the rights, because I also like the Spider-Man cards. I do. Wait, which one is next? Okay. Yeah, the only reason I wouldn't run Goblin on Future Ant-Man is so you can run a defense... Excuse me. So you can run a defensive relic on it. Because that's what I'm doing. Bro! I did knock him down. My fault. But that means I have to throw the special too while he's stunned. No! Ugh! Okay. I think it's fine. I should have done medium, medium, and just chanced it, and then immediate... Well, no, because then I wouldn't have gotten the stun off. I needed to just throw the special 2 without the falter up. Okay, that's not a great matchup, actually, for that reason. Clubs is right. Who is it? I just saw it. Okay, Vulture. That's pretty nuts, Elijah. That's not quite what I meant to do. Oh, one more. Ah. Snap lights are so annoying. I appreciate that, Leroy. Like, the thing is, it would definitely require a fair amount of engineering help to, like, build things that could apply to multiple fights for several rooms. I guess hacks can technically do that, but even... Yeah, like, hacks could technically do that, but it was... You would need new screens, there would be a fair amount of work. But I legitimately think that we could do an awful lot of it with the existing know-how that we have in the game. And I don't think it would be quite as much work as it sounds like, and I do think that we could get something pretty special out of it. We'll see. I do think we probably still need the option to allow people to turn Classic down further easy. There was just no way that that was going to happen in the same month. I would also still like Elder to be a little harder on the upper end if I really want to go for it. I would happily spend 5 revives that I'm otherwise not going to spend on anything else on this every month for better rewards. You jerk. Thought you were gonna run forward. That shouldn't happen, SYC. Okay, hold on. Alright, send a message for tomorrow. I'm gonna double check on that. I agree, Leroy. I think we overreacted to some very angry people. What is up with her block stuff? Okay, I guess that's the safe way to do it. Ma'am. Misty. Nah, it's resisting ability accuracy reduction or it's not. The video isn't necessary, but I appreciate it. Why are there so many freaking evaders in this? Not a lot of anti-evasion in tech. There's more than there used to be, but very annoying. Ma'am. Hold on, I have a low evade chance, so I need to make sure to only use it at the least convenient time possible. No, that... Black Widow didn't evade that much. But her timing... Okay, let's be careful with long shot. The rest of these are fine. Don't use a robot on Nebula. I mean, bluntly, Dilly, they're not gonna be fine-tooth curated every month. They're just not. What was I just looking at? Okay, long shot. Yeah, and I'm intentionally not using Bastion's Pursuit because he doesn't super line up well against a lot of these. And he doesn't really benefit from the node. I don't know if it makes it better or worse that I don't get that reference, Leroy. Just did it accidentally. Well, but that's the thing, Dilly, is that we do have a blacklist. But none of those champions I just dealt with are worthy of a blacklist, right? You can't say, well, Black Widow just doesn't make sense for tech champions. Misty just doesn't make sense for tech champions. They're not that bad. It's just that, like, the random dice rolls this month seem to have dropped more of the otherwise acceptable evade champions on the tech path than would normally happen. And I honestly don't even think that that's something that really needs a systemic fix. Excuse me. It's just annoying. Whoa, excuse me. Excuse me. No, 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 no. I told you to I told you to dodge. And you just dropped block. That's not acceptable. Alright, well, War Machine next, I guess. Man. Hey, Snoops. I don't think Misty is unfair for tech champions. Amazing timing for a special intercept. The irony is palpable. One level 12 Warlock. That's very funny. Doesn't sound fun, Snoops. Okay, let's double check. It is 15%, right? Okay, cool, cool. We're at 18. This is fine. Sorry, what were you slandering, Elijah? Nah, War Machine's not my favorite, but he is good. There are just better champions. Tech does not have a lot of counters to Unstoppable. The reason for it is that it hasn't really been necessary in the past. There isn't a lot of Mutant Unstoppable, and there have been other answers to it, right? It matters more now. You'll see more of it, but it hasn't been super important in the past. Did indeed, easy. I mean, gentle alone is enough of a reason, right, Elijah? When I said you'll see more, I meant counters to Unstoppable. But once there are more counters to Unstoppable, it's also fair to put more Unstoppable in Mutant. So, we'll see. Yeah, I kind of feel the same way, Snoops. I also still like him. But there's not really a game mode at the moment that's asking for him. That's our boy. Yeah, these days there's no chance that his armor wouldn't have a return condition. That's just old tech. You know what? I've used Patriot for this fight enough times, and I just took Shang-Chi up. Let's do that instead. Alright, let's do that one more time. Do it! Alright. That works. Hmm. See, I don't really agree with that, DC. Special 2 into Special 1 is significantly underrated in War Machine's rotation. Just because MSD made a few videos of Labyrinth clears where it's literally parry heavy in between Special 2s and Special 3, because Labyrinth specifically wants a low hit count, does not mean that War Machine can't trounce things going Special 2, Special 1, Special 1. Which, I'll point out, is literally what I just did here. And that rank 2 War Machine shredded an Elder EQ opponent. His special one absolutely works in his playstyle. Yes, I do mean Abyss. you're you're not wrong, Leroy. That would have been interesting. All right, time for the endurance test. And I don't agree with that, TC. Like, I heard you. I don't agree with you. I think your general understanding of him might be a little misplaced. Kit has aged so well. Like, Black Panther's not what a lot of people are reaching for. And these days, honestly, the DPS could probably be a little higher. But it's so good. Yeah, Odin can hit hard. That autocorrect of B parentheses is very funny. I've been frustrated by that before. Yeah, I also wish Hawkeye Sig did a little more. And the thing is that, like, his Sig is legitimately good. It does increase his hits, but so much of his playstyle is aimed into the bleeds that it for me it doesn't feel like flexibility of damage, even though it literally is. It feels like it could be a little bit more focused. Probably early to use Zemo, but that's okay. Sam Wilson's good. He's just slow. Oh. Oh, wait. Okay. Okay. And now we can't knock her down? Just gotta bleed her out. Yeah, Sam does a lot. Sam is the precursor to a lot of things that Ironheart does. Just doesn't quite have the damage. I have enough skill champions, I can probably just use one here. Like, I'm trying to save them, but also Atuma is not great here, so it's okay if I burn him. I couldn't knock her down because she was at 10 charges, and when she's at 10 charges and is knocked down, she goes into her super mode, like Photon, except her super mode purifies all debuffs, because she's old, and Cosmics were allowed to do that back then. Oh, no. Come here. Woo! I was really worried that Purify was going to happen before I got the special 2 off. Ah, alright. Yeah. But then I have to be sure that a rank 2 is killing TC. Because remember, she also goes indestructible. What do I want to do here? Probably just Mole Man. And yeah, it was safer to just let her bleed out. Then you can knock her down near the end. Okay, that hurt. We're ready for shield. It's possible, Jaden. Captain Marvel's Pulverize, like those two that you picked are kind of weird, right? Like Mojo basically having atrophy, that'd be super easy, right? Because what he does is literally what atrophy does. There are no differences. Valkyrie having grit, again, it's literally what she does. There are no differences. Pulverize everywhere else does damage as it removes the armor ups. And so we can give that to Captain Marvel, and I think we probably should, but we either have to buff her heavy damage or we have to make it a zero potency pulverize all, right? Which is, that's technically what that does. What I just said is all the English you need to get that across, but it's weird. It's a weird ability. And Blade's Endurance is different because Endurance only reduces the duration of non-damaging debuffs, and Blade reduces everything. So if we gave him Endurance, we would have to either nerf him or add a rider and say this also affects damaging debuffs, which is the kind of thing that people could very easily just be confused by. Yeah, Mordo Steadfast is another one where it was basically doing that anyway. So I was the one who did the unblockable cleanup. I just added the icon anyway. Because somebody had asked me about it. And so I was like, yeah, why not? Makes sense. I literally forgot that Chiel's Light 4 was a headbutt because I never use it. But if you're trying not to kill the opponent... No, please, regen. See, I thought it was UTC, but I didn't want to assume. But yes, that's why I added it, because you had asked me about it, and I was like, well, I'm in here. Yeah. I don't think that Stealth Spidey needed to hit miss, but whatever. Okay, what's left that's dangerous? There's a fair bit. Let's make sure we have a clean anti-miss for Morbius. Fair enough, Jaden. Well played. Yeah. No, there's... No. We had that option. Prowler's Incinerate is intentionally not only an Incinerate, but an Incinerate debuff. Come on. Oh, that was bad. Okay, thank you. Because Prowler was supposed to have points of failure. Yeah, and to your point, like, we could have absolutely made Prowler's Incinerate a plasma. We could have made it a passive, too. Something else would have had to give. Probably would have meant that he did less damage, and I wouldn't take that trade. And I don't think that the people you're talking to want to make that trade either. They just want their cake and to eat it, too. Right. Joey's correct. Quicksilver's is different. Quicksilver just gets like 4 or 5 different abilities at 300. No! No! I dodged! Ah, it's so annoying. Alright, well. It's gonna be time for Blade soon. Wait, why did I use Killmonger for the armor break guy? Whatever. Big theories. So Prowler's SIG scaling is not as diabolical as you think it is. It was actually because Prowler's designer likes primarily linear SIG scaling. If you look at their other champions, most of them have relatively linear SIG curves. The problem is, if he had done that with Prowler, because of the way diminishing returns works, it would have meant that Prowler's SIG would have been way less even in its growth as it got higher. And so he compensated for that with the SIG curve that you see, and it actually means that the effect on Prowler's crit rate is pretty flat all the way up. It's just people see the giant curve, don't understand diminishing returns, and go, "Oh wow, so the value is only at the end." TC did already get this talk. Welcome, dopamine. Yeah, no, this quest is definitely the worst right now. We're aware. That was some grade A nonsense right there. Kind of, Elijah. It depends on where you are at the curve, right? And this is something that a lot of people misunderstand because, like, it also depends on what you're adding to. If you're looking at something like energy resistance, where the base value that most people have is 0, then 1,000 is pretty significant, right? If you're looking at something like block proficiency, where the base value most people have is like 60% or more, which is already like 5,000 or so, then 1,000 is less valuable. And if you're looking at something like crit rate, where most people have in like the 20%, then it's somewhere in between. This is also why, and I've said this before, but like this is why Absorbing Man's Heavy looks so silly, because I actually tell you what the real values are. But under the hood, what I'm doing is this gives you like 45% crit rating filtered through the curve. And then if it's not stunned, it gives you 90%. It just so happens that the value for 90% is way, 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 way bigger than the value for 45%. Like, it's significantly more than double. Oh, nice, EK. I'm glad you liked it. Okay, time for Bill. Which is yet more block damage. This is probably a good place for Blade, though. We'll have time to heal, because Bill takes less damage from Bleed, but that's okay. Dopamine, don't be rude. He threw that into a very hard block. Why are you assuming that somebody's blocking Yelena's specials instead of dexing them? And also, why are you assuming that if somebody said that Bullseye is more of a... Oh, okay. You know what? That's my bad. That's my bad. No? No, 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 no. I don't think it is. I don't understand your comment. I don't understand your comment as a response to easy. I don't understand it logically, and I don't understand how it's helpful. But I'm willing to say that I misunderstood it if I did. Okay, Star-Lord's a nothing, I say, while knocking on wood, because that could absolutely go sideways. Do something simpler. Man, health bar really went down. Okay, so no, you did just misread. Because he said Bullseye is more of a problem than Yelena. So that was backwards to what you said. But I do still think that it is a little bit rude to assume that if somebody finds Yelena to be a problem, given all of the stall threats that she has, that you automatically assume that it's probably because, well, they just haven't figured out the skill part of the fight and not just that they find her a problem. Does that make sense? Yeah. Yelena is definitely more of a stall threat. Bullseye's more of a kill threat. Alright, no special one needed. Well, because you don't know their gameplay. You're assuming their gameplay. And they didn't say that gameplay was their problem. Like that's kind of do you I think you still don't get it. Like the issue is the assumption. Because if Easy had said like, oh yeah, I die to Elena Moore, her specials destroy me, then that's a fair response, right? Anyway, I'm not gonna dwell on it. Ah, this is where I used Cheelf last time. Okay, that's fine. Still a good place for Shang-Chi. I continue to despise this node with every fiber of my being. But Shang-Chi is one of the ones it's actually okay. Okay with, okay for, whatever. Yeah, 60 frames per second is pretty great. I think this should work well. Let's see if we can bridge the gap. Same striker node, right? Yeah. Nice. Yeah, Shang-Chi's biceps are absurd. In my opinion, the second silliest biceps in the game after Wiccan's. Because Shang-Chi at least, like, his biceps are a little bit out of place for his frame, but not that far out. It's just kind of like comic book silliness. Wiccan, it, apologies if anybody finds this word insulting. I don't mean it insulting at all. Wiccan's body type is very clearly twink. And yet he has Shang-Chi's biceps out of nowhere. Like, does he literally only do curls? It's like planks and curls and nothing else. What is that man's workout? Anyway, we're not going to spend more time. It doesn't make sense to me. Thank you, ALX. I appreciate it. Ooh, yeah, Nightcrawler against Joe there makes sense. That's funny. But he's not Joe. It's like it's a bear's arms on a twink's body, and it somehow averages out to a twunk. It's like that's not whatever. Fair enough, TC. I literally have many twink friends, but like that's not. If somebody does find it offensive, that never is what you want to say in response to defend yourself. So I wasn't about to. Uh, yeah, I know, Rocky. I brought that up. Like I know we calmed it out, but I did bring that up to the team that I don't think the here's how you play EQ slide makes it clear enough. Technically, it is in there, right? If you read the guide on how to Or no, it's not in the guide. What it is it's specifically when you click on the lock for Elder, it pops up and it says complete classic first. It doesn't say explore classic. And so if you've been playing the game for a while, that does tell you you only need to do one run through because that's what completion is versus exploration. The problem is it's not in the guide, or it's not in the basic or the advanced guide on how to play EQ, which pops up when you first see it. And you won't see that anywhere if you don't tap on the little toggle. And if you're not a super experienced player and you haven't picked up on the difference between completion and exploration, then that doesn't help you. And I said all of those things and they're going to look at it. It's the workout regimen of the Marvel character. Steroids. A lot of steroids. Yeah. So I've heard, Joey. Maybe ALX. We will definitely see. I wanted to this season, and I have the files for the first week and even the stuff from last season, but just when the disconnect issue meant that we weren't going any further, it was... Yeah. It just didn't feel worth it, unfortunately, especially because then that was the end of the tactic. But I'd like to. I enjoy war videos. They just require me to be a little bit more focused than I sometimes am. Come on, Carl! Thank you, sir. I knew that was gonna happen. And that was with protection up. That was insane. My it's so that's funny, Soups. I didn't realize you got married. Congrats, man. I think Mr. Knight is very good, TC. He's not for everyone. Um, and that is okay. We knew that on the way out. But I think it's a really cool kit that lends itself to some very creative gameplay. Um, and we were a little bit scared to send him out the door, honestly. Because it's a powerful enough and flexible enough kit that it's difficult to really see everything it can do ahead of time. But we knew there was something special there. You would know that if you read all the loading screen tips. Don't get me started on the loading screen tips. Nah, Mr. Knight doesn't need more block proficiency, Alex. Like, he can take advantage of inequity as it is. He doesn't have low block proficiency. He just doesn't have exceptional block proficiency. And he has access to that reckless ability once he gets charged up a little bit. I don't think he needs more there. The immunity dopamine is coming from the enhanced parry node that puts an armor break on him when you parry, but then he's immune to the armor break. Hey, Bill. Elijah's also true. If you're the very high end of his play style involves just figuring out how to block less even when you want them to do specific things. Okay, Mystic, Samurai, cool. It'll happen someday, Matt. I miss Carl, too. Excuse me. Yeah, that makes sense, Elijah. I first learned how to do that for fighting Wolverine Weapon X. Useful skill. Um, Probably more special twos, like maybe two, and then special one. Yeah. Like, you still want the special one shuriken if you need the halt, or if you need to heal off. Or actually, no, you don't heal off the miss without the dupe. So yeah, it's mainly the special one is for the halt then. Or for like a finishing blow if you've gotten up to 6 or 9 poisons off the special two. Or is it 4 or 8? I don't remember. Um, but yeah, I would throw special twos more. Because the special two poisons are intentionally tuned to be a much larger source of damage than the Sig poisons, even at high Sig. It's just that the Sig poisons juice the special one, right? So if they're not juicing it, then the special two is probably the way to go most of the time. Okay, there's no clapback anymore, right? Just triple checking. It's arc overload now. What did I just do? Oh, yeah. The community is very bad at counterfactuals. If Mr. Knight's Tranquilizes hit nodes, then he wouldn't have a ceiling of 175%. Then it's pretty trivially easy for him to hit. Oh, I've got another Tigra. But noted easy. Why are you surprised, Bill? That sounds like a good matchup. Hmm. Yeah, if you weren't aware... Whoops. Oh my god, Shocker's freaking hitboxes. What is that nonsense? If you weren't aware, techs that have crit replacement, are not subject to crit resistance. So that's why somebody like Jack is good for Red Skull, even though he doesn't answer the armors. Dang it, I knew that was coming and I went for it anyway. It said Shocker will be the free space. Yeah, I think that's very fair. I hate that guy. I like Shocker a lot. I think his animations are laughable at best. Come here, come here. Dang it. He did what I asked. Split second too soon. Yeah, exactly, sure it did. They don't stop the dot with their armors, but they also don't stop the crits with their resistance. Me? Come on, buddy. And game. Wow. I'm still very proud of his victory screen. Not that I made it, but like for the team, I'm proud of how it came out. Hey, Misery. Look, TC, all I can offer you is this. I use Mordo in playtests, so I get more exposure to him. If I ever decide I like him, I'm taking him up. At the moment, not for me. Hey, Shaz, how's it going, man? What am I looking at? I don't feel like I really need anyone. Let's do this. Yeah, Jassis. Kind of depends on where you are in BG's bill. In the lower areas, maybe. But I don't know that he's that important. Or that dangerous on defense. Wait, who's next? I did it again. Sable. I cannot keep that information in my mind. Just gone. Instantly. To ashes. Okay, now here's the question. Did we fix the Sable bug on her mines live? I don't remember. A match. Nope. Nope, we did not. Okay, well, I guess that's a next month thing. Oops. Not my best. If Mojo wasn't so squishy, Mojo would be one of the tankiest champions in the entire game. The regen is very good. I do get where you're coming from, I just don't think he needs more. Oh, God. Even some of the quest designers just cannot hold on to that info. It'd be great if we could put it in that screen, but that requires engineering time getting dedicated to it. I haven't played Enchantress in so long. There we go, that's Charm. Whoops, wrong one. Okay, well, that's fine. No, that's not quite what I want. What am I wanting? Shit, I cannot remember these things. No! That one's a synergy one. Okay, well, I'm not getting my healing here. Yeah, and like, I could have looked it up beforehand, Leroy. I could have paused and read her spellbook. No. If I don't remember, we're getting a fireball. It's is what it is. Oh, you jerk. I mean, there's a lot of ways we could do it, Chaz, but all of it requires pulling engineers off of other work, which is often the problem with quality of life things here. Have fun, Elijah. I mean, moderation has its value in real life, too. But it's not my job to do that everywhere. Yeah, well, Enchantress's designer really enjoys D&D, so I don't think they would see that as a problem. Yeah, okay. Why did you like this fight easy? I was thinking it was like, you don't really want to bait the special one. Special 2, I forgot the special 2 second hit was contact. Because then it's probably fine. And that death was entirely mine. I don't care. Look at the revives. Compensation. Whee! Um... Bait special ones? But you don't have a miscount. Why is that good? Ace, because you can do that? Okay. It's still technically part of it. Alright, learned something today. Appreciate it. Everybody has the revives right now, Snoops. I didn't buy them. Thanks, DC. Appreciate your support. Why did I do that? Not what I meant to do. Next. Oh, that's okay, Stoops. I thought you were doing both. I thought you were doing the funny voice and the whale comment. But I wasn't offended either way. Hey, some people like the strong chin, DC. It's kind of funny in hindsight that, like, one of the few questions, like, one of the few favorite questions people ask me that I have an answer to is that mystics are my favorite class. But the mystics I've built are very atypical. What are you gonna do? In some ways, TC. Very much not in others. She still doesn't have Mystic Dispersion. She still puts buffs on the opponent. Those aren't normal. Feels like a compliment, Elijah. But even if it was neutral, I'll take it as one. Thank you. Let's take the class in this direction now. It kind of does. Meta planning is one of my responsibilities. You're not wrong. Alright, made it through the samurai fight without losing my shield for the first time. I'll take that. I do understand where you're coming from, TC, because, like, she intentionally is harkening back to other mystics, right? She has the block regen that Sorcerer Supreme and Purgatory had before her, right? She has a Nullify All on her special one, potentially. Same as Voodoo before her. Although Voodoo himself, I would argue, was very atypical for the class, especially at time of release. She has the Soul Barb, which is weird but doesn't feel as weird to you because you're Mordo's biggest fan. But even the things that I was pulling from the past, I think were some of the rarer things in the class, which was on purpose. I definitely see what you mean in that she is a little bit more in line than my others because she intentionally rhymes with some characters that came before, given the Ghost Rider and Sorcerer Supreme stuff, in a way that I didn't have to on Nico or Carl. Actually, here's a fun little tease. My next character rhymes a little bit. And that's all I'll say there. Tell me why that sounded like an insult. I didn't mean it as one, but he is loud about it sometimes. That's very fair, Shazin. It's a little like straight ahead. Pretty basic playstyle, but like yeah, he does what he needs to. Up to you, TZ. Nah, I don't think I should say what class yet. Vincent gave hints. That's probably all we should do for now. I get what you mean, Snoops. Samurai has a lot of damage. Alright, Jack, come on. Haven't seen him on defense since he debuted. That's not true, but I don't think I've seen the special 2 since then. Oh, he doesn't even have a relic. I need to remember to put that back on him at some point. I definitely have spares. Nah, Samurai doesn't have to do short combos. I'm not with you there. You definitely don't need to stun if you can heavy counter. I don't know, TC. I think it probably comes down, like, it's not my decision, but I think it's probably going to be a matter of as long as there's still enough disagreement, right? As long as there's still enough disagreement about who's coming, then it's fair to keep giving the hints, right? Now, I will say, in the broadest possible terms of a tease, out of the next 2 months, October and November, I have seen one correct guess for each month, and I have seen the other character mentioned, but not as a guess, sometime in the various servers, subreddits, chats that I'm in the last 2 weeks. Who's next? It's somebody unimportant. Yeah. No, that's not true. I want somebody with bleed resist. Okay. Or anti. Yeah, let's go Terax just for safety. Well, but we won't have the armor breaks. We won't really be doing a lot of damage. Yeah, this is probably a good place to use Angela. She doesn't have any extra duration. Now that's a medium. Nah, if it weren't for the cleanse, I would have used Terry. I might still later, but, like, that was safer. Terex just isn't great for these nodes, unfortunately. Ouch. That was stupid. Alright. Yeah, I've thought about taking Angela up. I might yet, but we already have another rank 4 in the group, so it's not super important. Moon Knight's extra power gain is so annoying. Thank you. I was pretty sure that would kill, but, like, you don't want to be wrong. Only do the saga incursions. I understand why. I'm not gonna try and convince you. I like incursions, but it certainly has its flaws at the moment. I don't want 50 Batman. Let the evade pass. That miss really did not help. He could have hit a lot harder there if I'd gone for the stronger Furies sooner. And I knew that, but whatever. Oh, you jerk. Gamora, why are you being so difficult to bait? Only Cersei's Furies were paused during her specials. Y'all make fun of me for putting pauses on champions. This is what happens when you don't. They don't always hide in the Awakenings. Sometimes they're improved in the same. That's not the same thing. It's okay, TC. He was definitely making fun. Pretty good for no damage boost. Yeah, I should have done the special ones sooner. Just gotten the regens and cashed out. Alright. No evade, thank you. That's what's wrong. This is what I get for being a good alliance mate. My Venom and my Serpent and my Odin are all in AQ. I was like, where is... Oh no. That's why we've had to dig down a little further. Okay, well, Serpent for this one. I accidentally hit go before grabbing the relic, that's fine. Yes, she does, Preston. Yes, she does. No! Okay, thank you for only hitting me once. The absolute nerve of her to evade and put a power sting on me as I throw the special. No problem, Leroy. By the way, for those of you who had not seen the Silk Lock in effect before, what I'm doing with Serpent right now is his variant. Effective. It wouldn't work if I pushed her to special 3. Works pretty darn well if I'm trying to avoid her special 1. Alright, we fell briefly out of sync. Not a problem. It's funny, Elijah. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 left. They're not very dangerous, which is good. We should be okay. We've got some healers left. Good old Gamora. Oh, wow, it's been so long. I think she was my first rank 3. Forget about that sometimes. Well, that stinks. Okay. I guess I'm not cashing any immortality at the moment. Her special 2 really does nothing. That multiplier must be tiny. Because with 3 prowess and a giant fury... we got, like, 20k? Yeah, exactly, Joey. I remember that fight, DC. That was a good one. I appreciate you. Alright, throw your special. I don't feel like blocking a special 2 today, thank you. What the frick? I don't know what Galen is smoking. Alright, throw. Thank you. Alright, regen please, and I fully intend to ride this. Cool. Take that. Yeah, TC. Some things you can see a little bit better on the iPad. No problem, TC. Now I'm curious if you do know my breakfast order. Maw's my second does sound possible, yeah. That sounds like something I would do. Ouch. Okay. Definitely not, but I appreciate going for it. Okay. Yeah, why not? We have all the items in the world. Like, the smart move here with my roster would be for me to bring my Deathless King Groot and make sure that I get the permanent armor breaks up on Groot so I don't have to worry about his duration reduction nonsense, and I could just confidently and slowly heal. But Adam's more fun, so we're doing this. Oh, no, you don't. Closer, Elijah. My go-to breakfast is either yogurt or half a Cliff Bar. Night soups. One more. Not reviving, or not healing. If I did, this would definitely be easier, but... Gotta go for the experience, right? And if we revive, we revive. He crit through my block. That's not very nice. Okay. Shield down. Whoa! Didn't realize that would give me enough. That's alright. Nice. Didn't even lose the shield. Yeah, that Bane tuning is so much more manageable. Hmm. Seems possible, TC. That would definitely be much lower than normal. So that would match why it felt off to me. Okay. So we got all this stuff. Let's see if we have anything to open. Bed. 15 of those is nice. Getting tired of missing. Like, Sigs on Dazzler isn't even bad, but that's the wrong blonde. Specifically, that's the wrong blonde nuke. Cool. You remember correctly, yeah. That one I think is in my prestige. Goblin might be. It's old. No, it'll be fixed next build, I'm assuming, but it is very annoying to not have it tell you what SIG levels you're getting. Okay, new ones. That's fine. How many? Does it... Is Relic still broken in that way? Wait, how did I get another one of these? Was this an EQ? It must have been. I don't know where else I would have gotten one. Oh, that's interesting. Because 3 of the class is what you need for a 7-star, isn't it? But we don't have tier 2 Celestial Alloys. Okay, so I don't really need to save that for that. Go away. Also go away. I might buy you tomorrow. Okay, so if I was going to take up a Mystic Relic now, it would probably be Scarlet Witch, but it could also be Ghost Rider, Sig 140, Sig 80. Okay, so yeah, that's probably Scarlet Witch. That's interesting. I don't know when we're going to start getting tier 2 Celestial Alloy. Because if it was any time soon that I could get 4 of them, then I would rather take the Kushala Relic to rank 2. But I don't have to make that call today anyway. That is interesting. Trade 2 of them for a Zemo. Man, if that worked. Yeah, definitely still hoping to get Carrie and Cassandra out of this one. Okay, does it show the unowned properly now? It looks like it actually might. It is wild. Because I feel like I've opened a fair number of the 6-star stat casts, and I'm still missing that many. So how many do I have owned? 12, 16, 20, 24. Okay, so I have 33. And I'm missing... It doesn't give me a number, does it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay. So 53. I'm missing 53 and I have 33. And I probably could have done math to figure out how many combos there were, but that's a lot. Yeah, me too, TC. But all right, it's gonna be a while until I have reliable dupes on StatCast, and I probably should have seen that coming. I have another rank 4 that I can do somewhere in here, but because I took Maker to rank 3, I'm still waiting on... I guess that's not really true. I could do this right now. But yeah, I'm mainly waiting on being in a better headspace, so I'm not rushing that rank 4, but we'll see that. Okay. I will talk to y'all soon. I don't know what I'll stream next. Probably Battlegrounds. Maybe sometime this weekend, but if so, it'd probably be like Sunday morning, because I've got some stuff going on. But yeah, I will see y'all soon. I guess we're still a ways out from the October spotlight, so I won't tease that. But yeah, I'll see y'all soon. Take care, everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out.